Hello and welcome to Shamus on the Commodore VIC-20, and I'm playing this on a 16K expanded VIC-20. I did actually own this back in the day, and I had a 16K expansion. I don't know whether it worked on an 8K or not. Anyway, let's get started. So right away you can see that it's very much inspired by Berzerk, with a slightly stronger influence on the arcade adventure exploration side of things. And I forgot all about this game actually. Just Lucosa reviewed the C64 version, and I mentioned that I did have this in the VIC-20. He went, oh okay, well perhaps we could do a review of the VIC-20 version, so here we are. I never really played the C64 version. It was interesting to see what that looked like. And apparently the game started out as an Atari 400, 800 game. And then converted to all the other platforms of the day. Quite a lot of platforms apparently had this. But I'm really only familiar with the VIC-20 version because that's the one I had. So it was interesting to see the C64 version. And I thought, oh okay, I'll have a go of that as well. So I had a quick play of it, but I have to say I wasn't that impressed with the C64 version. The controls felt just felt very sluggish and imprecise. But the VIC-20 version, maybe it's just because I'm used to it, but it just feels much more fun to play. And it's just a bit more frantic as well. And this is on the easiest difficulty level I'm playing here, and it's still a bloody hard game. Oh, that's the Shadow. It was the equivalent of the evil Otto from Berzerk. Although in this game you can't destroy him, but you can slow him down by firing at him. So I've picked up my red key. Yeah, so there's a bit more emphasis on the arcade adventure side of things here. So you got to pick up coloured keys and progress through the level that way. On the original Atari version, and I believe all the other versions, I think it's 128 rooms total. The VIC-20 version only has 32 rooms apparently. So I think it's 4 levels, but it's the same series of screens I think on each level here, but with slightly different layout of the keys. But I think on the other versions there are actually different rooms on the various levels. There's a different map layout on each level. And there's various difficulty levels. I'm playing beginner mode here, believe it or not, which is still pretty hard. Oh. But yeah, it's really, I mean, I think graphics are pretty decent for a VIC-20 game. Unfortunately, the main character and all the sprites are all or enemies are all monochromatic, same colour. The other versions do have a bit more colour. I like the background, the walls and stuff. They're kind of funky. They're a bit more subtle in the other versions, I think. But for some reason, I do like the VIC-20 version. Adds a strange kind of atmosphere. Sound effects are pretty decent, but they're, I mean, not the best VIC-20 sound effects I've heard, but they're powerful enough. The gameplay, yeah, it's good fun. It's pretty hard, unfortunately. I'm going to have to mark it down a bit just for the difficulty level. I mean, my favourite VIC-20 games are probably Omega Race and Grid Runner. and Star Defense. I've already reviewed all those games. Those were my sort of go-to games when I had the VIC-20 back in the day. This game, I remember my uncle bought me it when I think he managed to get hold of the RAM expansion for us, and he also picked up this game. And I did play this quite a fair bit, but yeah, because it was so hard, it started to get a bit frustrating. I think it's a decent game. It's just it's a shame it just could have been better if it wasn't quite as frustrating. There's certainly plenty of action, lots of enemies on screen, and it all moves nice and smooth. And there's not quite as much slowdown as I noticed on the C64 version. There is some slowdown, but it's not quite as pronounced. There's the white key. When you lose a life, yeah, it's not so obvious in this level, but some of the other levels when there's more than one exit, sometimes it can be helpful if you lose life, it puts you to the other side of the screen, which can be helpful. Sometimes not so helpful depending on which way you're going. Oof. But yeah, I think it's quite a decent game. There's the red lock. Oh. It just opens up more of the level. Yeah, so there's various enemies. The hardest ones are those sort of square ones are called snap jumpers. They do sort of lurch. They do jump, and yeah, they can be quite dangerous. I don't think they fire, but all the other opponents fire, I think. Also, these robots here look quite inspired by the Berzerk robots. Yeah, I'm not sure whether the VIC-20 version is a bit harder than the other versions, possibly because there's not as many rooms. That might be a factor. But I think it's really well done. I mean, if you're a purist, I would guess the Atari version would be the one to play. But I certainly still recommend taking a look at this version if you're interested in the VIC-20. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Oh. So what I'll do is I'll just change the difficulty level to the hardest expert just to show you what it's like. You can see the on the screen it details the various items of the game and opponents. Yeah, let's go expert. I mean, it's not that much harder, to be fair. I don't find it that much harder. It just there's generally more opponents on the screen, and they move a bit faster. And the bullets move faster, you can see that. In fact, yeah, the whole gameplay is faster in the player movement as well. So yeah, even harder. I mean, this is for real hardcore fans, I think. I certainly wouldn't recommend playing it on expert level, unless you want something really frantic. But I think it's frantic enough even on beginner level. Yeah, so it's put me on the left hand edge of the screen there, that's helpful. And there, oh, just trying to show you a bit more of the level layout. I don't have the keys to, nope, is that extra life? Yeah, potions are extra life, I think. Question marks can be extra life or just score, I think. Oh, is he going to jump? Right, so that's Shamus for you. Or I think the Americans say Shamus. But, yep, I'll give it 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a good game, very good game. I think the difficulty level just stops it from being, you know, as much fun as it could have been, but still a very, very good game. Recommended. Right, see you in the next video.